When you want to get off that darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down.
Why?
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky.
Alrighty, well, howdy everybody, and welcome back to yet another movie night. We are here, and we are sort of live, and it's good to be back here with an amazing panel of people. So, without further ado, shall we go around the room and say hello to the panel? We'll start with Chris Kelling.
Well, great. I have a little bit of laryngitis tonight, but we'll try to muddle through as best we can. And plus, we have a nice tropical depression hitting the coast, and we're going to be getting rain all weekend. So this is going to be a bright spot of the weekend. I can tell already.
Indeed, yeah, we got hit pretty hard today with that tropical whatever the hell it is. Yeah, we had really, really nasty rain all day, some storms. It's been quite a day, for sure. With that, we will go over to Jenny Morgan.
Good evening. How is everyone tonight?
Doing all right, Jenny. How are you?
Oh, just fine. Hoping I'm not coming down with the virus. I
Yes,
haven't
well,
been
we
feeling
will.
terribly well today.
We'll definitely hope for the best on that, and hope it's not that virus. And
Yeah.
Cool.
With any luck, it'll take me quick.
well, we will keep you in our thoughts at least, and think good things for you.
Thanks.
And
Let's get on with this show.
we got other people to introduce, Jenny.
Well, I know that's part of it.
Oh, okay, shh. With that, let's go over to Tornado. Hello, Tornado.
Well, I'm doing all right. You guys don't have to worry about me much.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear you're doing well.
It was my birthday yesterday. It was the best
was.
of times. It wasn't the worst, but it certainly could have been better.
It was your birthday. Happy birthday, Tornado. We all here wish you a happy birthday. At least I know
hope
I
you got
do.
me some Jeranism to debunk this time.
You're gonna be sadly disappointed.
That would have been a great birthday present to kick the shit out of Jism.
Yeah. That's when you punch the cobra, Tornado. Don't worry.
You.
We also have with us tonight TD Lane. Hello, TD.
Hi. I wasn't expecting that. Nice, Sean.
How are you doing tonight, TD?
I'm doing good. Bit tired, but that's life, I suppose.
Indeed. We also have with us tonight Hillel. Hello, Hillel.
Well, I wouldn't be too sure about that, actually. I'm, as apparently almost everyone else here, I am barely conscious, and sporting a headache. Like I said before, I'm sporting a headache the likes of which not even JFK could comprehend.
Oh, jeez.
Keep that pillow handy for your keyboard.
Oh no, believe me, it is inches away. there probably will be a point at which I just suddenly become quiet, and then I'll be out. But it's nice to be here while I'm still here.
Indeed. It is nice to have you here with us. We are happy to have you.
Thank you.
And okay. We also have with us tonight a RJ. Hello, RJ.
Yeah. Actually, the RJ, because
Ooh.
the universe is not allowed to have more than one of me at once.
Oh, okay, good.
Buy his damn book.
Yeah, that I can say too.
Yes.
And I've got the deflector screen on here full to keep things nice and comfy. But if it impacts anybody else, just watch out for your positron readings and let me know.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you here with us another week, RJ. Thank you for coming. And last, we have Sean Hufford.
Oh, hello. Like everybody else, yes, I'm tired, but do I care? No, not at all.
Yes, I think the entire panel is in need of a nap, but we'll make it through tonight, and we'll have some fun with some stupid. So.
Oh,
Alright.
stupid! Yay!
Bring on the
Yes, we
stupid
get
so I
all
can
sorts of
apply
stupid.
the napping lubricant.
We have a list of the stupid.
We do. So let's see. I'll bring up our wheel here. All right, there we go. All right, so on our wheel
Surprisingly evenly
tonight,
spaced.
we do not have a heavily weighted wheel tonight, but we do have Shadow, Uncool Trees, Map, Hoax, Vibration, Crystals, Repeating, and Monsters.
Oh,
Can I
oh,
just
wait,
say
wait,
weighted
wait,
wheel
wait,
is
wait.
heresy?
Wait, we got to address something in chat. Duh, idiot. And I'm going to quote him here, just for you, pal. Happy birthday to you. Like an F5 you blew.
Oh my god. That's awesome. All right.
Are we not going to finish the song?
No.
Nope, that's it.
Hey, it's open access now. He doesn't get a copyright infringement anymore.
And Duh Idiot says the Huff, and Renee says, who is this Sean person?
Who is he?
I don't
Jesus.
know.
All these strangers here. What the hell?
So we have with us, where we have on the wheel tonight, we have Hidden Powers of Frequency and Vibration. We have Monsters MGTOW. We have NASA Hoax, Cassini's Saturn on Flat Earth. New Flat Earth map proven correct.
Oh, please leave me alone. Please leave me
Oh,
Super-
you got me a present.
We can't
We
do the
have-
vibration one without Furball, though.
We have
Flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth.
Flat Earth.
Well, hold on. We still have more to read. I have the Super Simple Guide to Crystals, the Angelic Initiative, Cool and Uncool Trees, the Meaning of Repeating Number Patterns, Numerology, and the Shadow of the Sun Does Not Exist.
Well, of course it doesn't. There, the video's debunked. We can move on.
Yeah,
Honestly,
isn't
as
that
a
an old
person-
Andy Williams tune? The shadow of the sun does not exist.
Well,
Look,
no
as
wonder
someone
the
who-
shadow of the sun doesn't exist. I mean, it's a light-emitting object.
Look, that's too smart. Look, all I'm thinking is, like, I am a person who is hip and cool with the youths. So I want to learn all the ways of the cool and uncool trees.
Obviously.
If you're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
that right, you have to say Utes.
Utes.
The youths.
Yeah,
Because,
the,
you know,
the,
the
the
youths
most
always-
hipster of the trees are rapping now.
Yes.
Those youths always
What's a ute?
fidgeting their spinners and ticking on their talks and etc.
Oh,
No,
jeez.
you're still saying it wrong. You'll get the reference eventually. You have to say Utes.
Ah.
You can't use utes anymore.
What's
now
a ute?
Now it's a tent.
Them young persons always they're tapping their iPhones together or whatever.
Oh my goodness. I saw something interesting today, though, that did make me feel old, too. If you ask people, like, my age and older, what hand gesture they use when they pretend they're on the phone, it's always...
Oh yeah, that was annoying.
Yeah. It's interesting, for sure. I didn't think about it, but it is true that most people younger than myself haven't used an old-style phone like that. It's
Yeah.
always smartphones.
What gesture
I'm
do you
sorry,
use
what-
when you're sending a telegraph by Mr. Morse?
Yeah.
I believe that's free taps and
Hey, baby shark.
No, it's...
Zuki Tower,
And
this
I'm
is
now
Air
bleeding
Force
out. I'm now
501.
bleeding out of my ears.
All right. Well, I think we should spin the wheel. What do you guys think?
Before we spin, I would like to make note. Whenever somebody says flat Earth, all I hear is beep, idiot alert.
Yeah,
The person you are about to listen to
I hear
is
that.
an idiot. Pay no
I'll
mind.
have my
to the
Jaren scale ready for the measuring if we get that one.
All
There
right,
is
well,
nothing wrong with your computer. We control the horizontal.
Well,
We control
tornado.
Obscure
Vertical.
1960s reference
We
there, Chris.
control the stupid.
Shall
So
we
sit back,
do our
relax,
incantation?
and
I was born
brace
in
yourself.
'66, but I still watch those shows when they were on reruns. So
But most of all, we control the bandwidth, which means we get to charge you whatever the fuck we want.
All right. Well, let us spin the wheel, tornado.
Wheel of misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it!
It's a long wheel. Don't forget.
How do you even spin the wheel last week if Tornado wasn't here?
It's the map. So it is the
Yay!
new flat Earth map, proven correct.
Oh, is this the
Yeah.
official flat Earth map, the one that supersedes all others?
Yes, it's proven correct.
Oh, good.
Obviously.
Yeah, we
wanted the
want to make up to date with
trees.
our medieval pre-scientific notions.
Of course.
Okay, put
No
your math hats on you smarties, because we're gonna have to do some math freehand here.
Archie, it's not medieval. It's it really is Bronze Age.
Look, don't make me do math. Do I look like a man who's seen a JPEG?
do I look like a man who has a plan?
Or I could go for really obscure jokes and say that I'm going to be watching a Piri Reyes documentary on my Admiral television set.
Ooh.
That is oblique, ain't it?
We all got
Wasn't it
that,
the
obviously.
Admiral that came out with the first remote control that worked with tuning bars?
Something like that, yeah.
Jenny, I have to say, I loved that joke you made. And plus, we control the bandwidth, meaning we can charge you whatever the fuck we want. I
You
love
like
that.
how we're delaying?
Well,
Yes,
feel free
very
to call
much
it your
so.
own.
All right.
Is that it?
That is.
Oh.
Wow.
my.
It looks like all the others.
This
See,
is proven
this-
correct.
This is what happens when you put pineapple on pizza. It
Yeah,
turns
why
blue
can't
and
they
green.
ever have like Taiwan as the center of the
I do
thing?
not
Yeah.
have the mental energy for the pineapple on pizza debate right now.
Yeah.
Good.
Why
Good to be
can't the
honest.
North Pole be the ice wall?
There's too much North Polocentrism here.
Why
Yeah.
can't the South Pole be the center and everything else around
Exactly.
All right.
Actually, that
Well, I
map
tell you,
actually
if
looks
more
really
flat
weird.
Earth idiots were from Australia, it would be.
And we did have a super chat, by the way. Rangerman9404 for $2 says new FE map drink. Yeah, that's a drink before we even get started. So thank you for that, Ranger Man.
Because all flat Earth videos should be actually given like a handicap of 5 or 10 because they really are handicapped.
So where do the clams fit on here?
They go in along the ice
Not
wall.
Everest. No, they go on Mount Everest.
I thought that's
Have
where
you listened
the,
to Ken Holland?
I thought that's where the penguins with the lightsabers were.
Oh
At
well,
least it's
there's-
ecologically good because the map is all green.
And actually, you gotta appreciate how the person looks like they spent like a whole hour in MS Paint working on that.
yeah.
Please, that's 45 minutes.
Okay, yeah, being too generous.
Hey,
Didn't
I
even
spent an
realize
hour in
there was a
MS
circle
Paint drawing
tool.
the United States, and my drawings look better than that shit.
Well, shall we
Correct.
get
Don't insult my
started?
intelligence.
Yeah, commence the stupid.
Yeah. All right, let us get started and see what the stupid has to say.
So the map you're looking at now looks correct according to the countries we know, both east to west and north to south.
No, it
I'm going to
doesn't.
prove to you that according to light, this
Drink.
map is 100.
Yes, Jen.
If the North Pole's in the center, exactly where is east and west and north and south?
Yeah, I think you just covered that. I can lower my hand again.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get that answer, but it's
Well,
a good question.
it just shows that it's a flawed concept. It's
Indeed.
just not going to work. It's not. We've debunked the video. Let's move on.
Hillel, you
If
had your
only it were
hand
that
up.
easy. But yeah, as a more concrete example, I know, for example, Cool Hard Logic. I think in its very first video about flat Earth stuff, compared like the size of Australia is like very, very wrong. So, like as you get towards the edge, like stuff gets way, way distorted. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Look at all
not
the
a good
ice
map.
we have on the wall.
Not a good map.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, my dog is
Heck, the
playing with a
map just
cat
gets
toy.
Longer over time.
You see that little notch that's about in the 8 o'clock position?
Y'all.
That's the anti-rotation tab, so that
Ratchet?
the ice
Yeah.
wall doesn't turn.
Oh,
around
exactly.
the rest of
Yeah. That's where. They have to put a big string around that, and it gets pulled every once in a while to keep the Earth spinning.
It's like retuning a clock.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody knows that the Earth goes around counterclockwise like a record.
Oh, yeah.
Like a what, sorry?
Yeah, kids. What's a record, Daddy?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not like my dad collected them or anything.
Is that
What
the
is
thing
this
that you put a
record you
CD in?
speak of?
I better stop before I get us all a copyright strike.
All right. Well, shall we continue?
Yeah. Before we continue,
Oh,
can
you
I
do,
ask?
you do.
Does this guy have a lot of stupid videos, or is this essentially just his one shot at fame?
A one-hit wonder.
Yeah, pretty much a one-hit wonder. Chris,
One
you had your
spurt
hand up?
Is this a one spurt jizz?
Okay, that you're gonna need to say anything that's not that.
Homeopathic jizz.
I think Chris Kelling had his hand up.
Yeah, I just want to know what the distance is from the. I don't know I don't know what direction that is.
Yeah.
The coast of Australia there to the coast of South America.
It's anyone's guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's easy. The distance is one Australia to Africa unit.
1,
It looks like a half a lap.
4,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. 8 parsecs, I guess.
Yeah, there's no scale on this map,
Or
so.
bisects.
Wait, does that mean the Millennium Falcon could do
Do the run
1.5 Earths? Or 1.
Yeah.
Only on the Kessel line.
on the Kessel Run, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure the scripture was correct.
All right. Well, we'll continue on and see what else he has to say about his flat Earth map.
Percent correct. So I've added these extra countries. See the black dots.
Wait.
Wait, what?
What extra countries? I see some shapeless green blobs in there.
And some
You
black
can't just
dots.
add extra countries.
that's
So
that's not how
countries
this
are
works.
shaped like dots now, right?
apparently.
Thinking about it, Madagascar is very far from Africa.
Look. Okay, that would have been
Jeez.
the extra 15 minutes in MS Paint. Okay.
Oh, jeez. All right. Oh, God. This is going to be painful.
I'm going to prove to you that the sunlight that we see while the sun is up is correct according to this map that I have made. Now, I have removed latitude and longitude.
And all other
Um,
relevant information.
It's not needed, it's just lines on a map.
Yeah. Drink there for a minute. He removed all latitude and longitude, but he's got all the longitude lines there.
Yeah, maybe you
couple
don't know
latitude
what
lines,
those
too.
are.
And it's not needed because it goes against his flat Earth map.
And also, as a small other kind of point, I suppose just to say, like, if you have, like, strictly speaking, if you're on this kind of flat Earth thing, the sun doesn't set. So, like, the sun can't set. So I'm very interested to see how he says, oh yeah, all the sun position stuff is all correct when you can't get the sun to set.
Now, obviously, he doesn't have the tropics in there, so I'm assuming that that line is the equator.
No, he's got tropics.
he's
It's
got
like a
tropics.
really light,
They're yellow.
like yellowish color.
Well-
But, no latitude lines, just, the tropics and the equator.
Wait, hold on. Does this mean that you should never eat yellow tropics?
Correct.
I
mean,
found the newest answer I found about the sun was that I found, not interesting, but just stupid, was that the sun just goes further away from you out of your perspective.
Oh, that's actually been the answer for a while.
Yeah. It was the newest explanation I got from a flat earther, and I was just like, really?
Honestly, yes, I'm so sorry that we've quite literally we've roped you into this.
Yeah.
You didn't ask for this. You didn't want this. We forced this upon you, and I'm so sorry.
Oh no. She did this voluntarily. She
That's
paid
true.
For it.
There's only one place I know.
If you say so.
And RJ, you had your hand up?
Yeah, since he's kindly informed us that we don't have any latitude or longitude lines on this amazing map, may I suggest that we refer to the radial lines formerly known as longitudinal lines should be called Rorschach blot lines, and that the circular parts that previously would have been referred to as latitude lines shall be referred to as Nielsen ratings.
I like the idea.
Okay, good. As long as we keep some consistent nomenclature here.
Yes, of course. That's important.
There's only one place that I know of where the sun orbits the globe. That'd be Equestria. So.
Yeah,
And-
that's the equestrian line there.
Yeah.
With the horses?
Is that
Yeah.
My Little Pony thing?
Mhm.
Yeah, Princess Celestia raises the moon, and Princess Luna raises, or the sun, and you know, raises the moon.
Chris Kelling, am I correct in assuming that you are in fact a brony?
Yes.
Finally, here's a big hug to you.
Oh my
I've
God.
admitted that many shows ago, so I don't know.
Yeah, and it kept you off the show for about a year and a half.
You gotta be honest. It's been a hot minute since we did any My Little Pony lore on this show.
Oh my god.
We also had TD Lane with the hand up.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't latitude and longitude very important for, like, I don't know, naval navigation and all that?
What?
My belly button follows me wherever I go, so I don't think there's a problem with naval navigation.
Yeah, that's only when you're trying to navigate
Oh,
around
that's a
orchards.
good one, Jack. I'm sorry, that wouldn't start me funny.
Oh dear.
Look, just as long as you don't think about it too much, it all works.
It just
Yeah, like
works.
you're gonna run out of fuel halfway between
just
the
works.
continents.
All right. Well, I think we should continue on. What do you guys think?
Sure.
We're making good progress. We're already 48 seconds into a 9-minute video.
Whoop whoop.
9 fucking minutes.
We'll be here until Thursday.
All right, guys, here we go.
I have north to
Please.
south lines, 24
Drink.
of them.
Yes, Jen?
You forgot to change the drink counter.
Oh, you are correct. I
They're
did.
trying to pull a fast one on us, I see.
Well, while we're stopped, I'd like to point out that he just got done saying that he's removed the longitude lines, but he's got 24 lines going from north to south.
Look,
Let's
just
point
don't
that out again.
think about it.
No, you can't have 24 different lines from north to south. South isn't in all those different directions. It's north or south. North or south, that's it. I'm sorry. This is wrong. Guy's full of crap.
Yes.
But, like, he's added the countries.
Added additional countries. Like, what? It's not how this works.
What country says he added there onto America?
You almost had a nice spit take there.
Yeah.
I think he's added
Or I almost
Palestine and Euperfornia.
All right.
California?
Here we go, guys.
Is it just me, or does Maine look a little like it gained some weight?
Yeah. A little
Look, it's
bit.
absorbed all those floaty bits off of Canada. Is all.
What is going on here?
All right. Here we
I
go,
want to know
guys.
that mysterious country that's right up on the upper part of the map, marked, I think, B.
B?
It looks like a B to me.
Really? Where the fuck do you see a B?
Right?
Yeah, it's a little line that points next to the little dot up there, and that's supposedly a whole
There's
country.
a lot of little
What
dots
the
up
fuck
there.
are you looking
What?
at?
I don't think we're looking at the same thing.
Well,
think he's
in the
talking about
blurry
Australia.
image that I have, it looks sort of like a B next to the dot.
All right, let's hurry up. RJ's hallucinating.
RJ, you're not supposed to like get ahead of the drink counter.
This
If
is
it
what
ever
we get
gets
for
cold
not
Jokes on
enough
you
for me
updating.
to
guys, I'm
see, I'll
drinking
find out
Mountain
what
Dew
it
again.
says.
He said, "Fine, don't update the drink counter. I'll just drink the entire bottle."
And of course, I'm moving my
You know.
cursor around on my screen like you guys can see it. So
Yeah. Oh dear. All right. Well, with
We're
that,
good,
shall
alright.
we continue?
Is that one of the new countries? The country of B?
Yeah. All right. Here we go,
where the
guys.
killer bees are from.
Oh my god.
Just like the original Flat Earth AE map, each line correlates to 1 hour of sun movement around the map.
Congratulations, you just
But
defined
I
a
don't
lot
have
of
any
things.
latitude lines. I've got
Don't think about
equators,
it.
and I've got the tropics, the Capricorn and Cancer.
Those be 15 degrees apart also.
So, during the Northern Hemisphere summer, the sun
Oh my
travels
God.
around the Tropic of Cancer.
Ooh. He had an
Okay,
Excel
so I've got the
table,
date, the 21st of June of this year,
Oh my
2019,
God.
and we've got daylight.
Drink.
We got sunrise in Punta Arenas, Chile.
Drink for a
Teal,
second.
someone
Alright,
said drink.
now at this point of the day,
Sorry,
Um,
I sneezed really loud and couldn't hear the
Oh.
drink call.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you. I managed to mute. Yes.
I want to make a note. In order for the sun to have this limited light radius, they have to actively change how light works and behaves.
Oh, I have a feeling that you're a whole lot worse.
Yeah, but that alone is just okay. We can't take you seriously because you have to invoke changing the physical properties of light. No experimental data.
Changes.
If I'm gonna be honest, I can't read a fucking thing on that table.
Yeah. It's okay. You're not missing much.
You're the better man for it.
No, honestly, I mean, I could put on my glasses, but like, I honestly can't see a thing on that thing.
Don't worry.
Okay, now I'm out of coffee. I'm gonna have to start on beer if this
Uh-oh.
continues.
I suppose it's more my part. Like, it doesn't really matter how you like change the magical lampshade that's such that the sun can illuminate whatever parts you need. But, like,
Yeah.
that doesn't change like the altitude and azimuth stuff. They still just don't work. No matter how you change how the light moves around, like it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I wish I could read that table, but my god, it's just blurry.
And RJ, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued that the sunlight image is an oval rather than a circle. Is it like he's terrified of the prospect that the light might accidentally like leak out over the edge of the ice wall somehow or other, or like maybe cast shadows onto the whatever it is past the ice wall? I'm not entirely sure why, because doesn't light normally do like a circle thing around a point?
Mm-hmm.
Magic lampshade, magic.
But it
lampshade.
can't.
Lampshade,
Yeah.
magic, lampshade.
It can't go over the edge, because that would defeat the whole dome.
They are never without light. With
Yeah.
this.
Look, waste
Yeah.
not, want not.
I always want to know, where do they get the 2,000-mile extension cord to?
Yes, indeed.
To plug that thing in. All right. Well, shall we continue on?
Oh, unfortunately, I guess that's probably necessary.
I think so. So here we go.
this yellow circle that you're looking at is covering every area that can see the sun directly. At that point of time, 9 a.m., Punta Arenas, Chile. Now, if you add daylight saving time, it will say that the time is 10 a.m., Punta Arenas, Chile. However, that will not work for the map because it's not true, it's not real, it's just a clock moved forward. So I've adjusted the clock back so that every star that you see next to the countries that's daylight saving adjusted back 1 hour to
Drink?
correct time.
Yes, Chris.
Does he not get the idea of time zones and why they exist?
Look,
Okay,
honestly,
Not a clue.
because
my first thought is like, dude, like,
oh, it's
daylight
just
saving
an
time is not the
arbitrary
main
number.
issue you have with this
No, it's not an arbitrary number. It was so that different sections of the country and the world could maintain the same relative time. So it's like 2 o'clock in Arkansas is not going to be 3:15 in Oklahoma.
Yeah, he just likes to make things. He just likes to omit things as he feels they're not necessary.
No, he likes to make stuff up.
Yeah. Alright, let me just get that in there. Okie dokie.
Again, like my first thought is just like, dude, like time zone, like sure time zones, whatever, but like daylight savings time is like concerning yourself with daylight savings time is not going to be the main issue you have with this map. Believe me.
And wait a minute, the sunlight illuminates half.
Ding, 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 ding.
At any one time. So this is 3/4 lit, or 1/4 lit, 1/3 lit, something. It's not half, though.
He's got me 100% lit. This guy is such a dumb fuck. He doesn't even understand the concept of a Terminator line.
Oh, that is Crunk.
I'll be back. That was a line from Terminator, right?
Yes.
All right,
Yes, Chris.
and we also did get a super chat in the meantime, a $2 super chat from Cajun Crustacean, who says derp derp a derp, derp derpity derp. That was I think in response
That's
to
pretty
Mark
damn
Beiser.
profound.
Thank you.
So thank you for that, Cajun Crustacean. And
The wise
let's
words
see.
of Plato himself.
Yeah. All right. Well, shall we continue?
Sure.
Nope. We
Shoot
got
that-
RJ with
shoot
the
that-
hand up.
Shoot
Yeah,
that bird.
I just wanted to
That was a
say
cat.
that I believe that Johann Sebastian once said, "I'll be back."
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to leave.
Somebody has to uphold the honor of shamelessly pathetic puns.
You're not wrong. Oh dear. All right. Let's see. All right. Shall we continue on?
That one fell a bit flat.
Oops. Okay.
All right. So,
Sure. Let's
9
continue
a.m.
on.
Punta Arenas. We can move the light. You see the sun?
Light.
If it moves 6.5, so 6 hours and 33 minutes around the map, we
There you
end
go.
up in
My
Auckland,
brain hurts.
New Zealand. Right, so we now have sunrise in Auckland, New Zealand. Okay, we move another 57 minutes. We got Invercargill, New Zealand. In another 7 minutes, we have Brisbane, Australia. 22 minutes, Sydney, Australia. 36 minutes time, there will be Melbourne.
Drink again.
And then in 17,
Yes, Chris.
So you're in New Zealand at sunrise. It's lighting up. Where do you see the sun? Do you see it off into the north? Or do you see
Both.
it coming over the horizon?
I think in New Zealand on the first day of summer, it rises at about
I can find
about
out
somewhere
right
around
now.
like 10 degrees maybe.
I'm already actually in suncal.org. So you're
Uh,
looking.
during the summers, it's going to rise in the northeast kind of area.
Right,
Yeah, like around
but,
10, 15, 20 degrees, something like that.
but I mean, if you take a look where his little red dot is compared to the little black dots defining New Zealand, you would be looking off in the distance to see an orb approaching instead of rising up over the horizon. So I don't understand how this is accurate at all.
Well, actually, this stuff fails more once you get towards the southern winter, because then you get the sun rising in the southeast in New Zealand, which on this map is impossible.
Yeah.
No, you never get the sun rising in the southeast of New Zealand any more than you'd get it rising in the northeast here
What?
in winter.
Okay, officially in New Zealand on the June solstice, it rises at 56.49 degrees this year.
Oh, okay.
So
No,
Even more
still
than I
further
thought.
east. So still further east than north.
Now, the other thing is, as a ham radio operator, I can tell you that trying to contact somebody in Australia on a flat Earth is a whole lot easier than trying to contact them on a globe. Because you
Interesting.
got direct line of sight.
How would you know you're not on a flat Earth?
Because there's something called a radial horizon.
Yeah, but
So-
how would you know? I mean, the flat
Because
earthers
the
have taught
radio
me that
signals-
if you the flat earthers have taught me if you're not there, if you haven't done it, you don't know.
But I
So-
have done it.
But no, you have never been to a flat Earth. So how could you know?
Well, no, but I've been on a globe Earth, and I've used the gray line propagation, which is following the Terminator line, to contact Hawaii. And
I don't question
Australia.
your globe Earth concepts.
Tough.
You've been there.
I've also talked to the ISS. So, hey,
That's true.
maybe it was just some guy up in a balloon. I don't know, but
Those are robots. There are no people up in the
That guy, that balloon, that one guy in the balloon really needs people to talk to.
I'm still pushing for the taco-shaped Earth, kids.
Yeah. That would be interesting, for
I'll
sure.
give you a taco.
Oh my god.
it's not even Tuesday.
All right. Well, we are going to continue on with that comment.
How much do I have to pay you to speed up this guy a bit?
We could
He's
do
talking
slightly.
at William Shatner levels, if I'm gonna be honest.
Indeed.
No, oh God, who's that?
Thank you, Tornado. I've been thinking that for like the last 10 minutes.
All right, here we go, guys.
After that, we have it in Adelaide, Australia. You skip another 29 minutes, you're going to get to Broome, Australia, and then sunrise will come to Perth, Australia in another 41 minutes. Now, I'm moving through this really fast for the sake of time. You can slow this all down, pause it if you need to, look at all my times, and see that they are correct.
That was him talking fast.
Now, let's move the daylight all the way back to triangulate some of our countries. Alright, so we've got sunset now in Punta Arenas, Chile. We've got sunrise around Invercargill, in between Invercargill and Brisbane. Invercargill, New Zealand, and Brisbane, Australia. And you've got all the way down in Stockholm, Sweden, you've got the edge of the light as well. Alright, so
Stockholm
let's look at these
syndrome?
countries. Is this correct? Is this what we see? Alright, now to show you that this is correct, let's look at timeanddate.com. You can change to any day and time, which will show you the daylight versus the night
Jeez,
time.
that's a little bit
And
different.
Drink.
Yes, tornado.
Yeah, you want to know how to properly use timeanddate.com? You need to project it onto a sphere.
Yeah.
The Gleason map is a projection of a sphere. Therefore,
projected on a
distances,
sphere.
shapes of land masses, and the correct position of the sun can only be simulated accurately on a sphere. It's not rocket science.
Oh, yeah, it is.
For some,
To
Change
him,
your light bulb
anything
is
is
rocket
rocket
science.
science, right? Oh dear. And we have Hillel with the hand up.
Woo. To address earlier, we were saying like, hey, his the magic lampshade that's a strange shape, like it's weirdly ovally. Like this is why it's weirdly ovally. Is just surprise, surprise. I'm guessing he looked at time and date, said, hey, what countries do I need to be illuminated? And then said,
Like I said.
okay, this is now the perfect shape for the magic lampshade, such that it will illuminate those countries. Like, wow, amazing. It's truly that's big brain energy.
Well, like
Yeah.
I said, let's see if he goes where I think he's going to go with it when he comes to the winter solstice.
Does he even go there?
I hope so.
because he's not.
Mm-hmm.
My head
I
will
want
explode.
I want to get to the part where he explains how come the sun can speed up its how fast it rotates around the Earth in winter versus summer when it's those fancy little lines are much closer together and stuff. How does it come speed up slow down? How much more gas does it take?
Conservation of angular momentum is pussies.
The moon and the sun are not to scale. Right.
Do they have like an extra engine on it to make it speed up, or really big brakes to slow it
I
down?
know what it is. It's solar powered.
Is that what it is?
Shut up, you fuck.
Yeah, I wish people would quit putting up all these solar panels and stealing all the solar energy. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, really.
They should pay for that. They should.
You get Mexico to pay for it.
That's true.
I thought I was going to be paid with the Versailles Treaty. Where else we're going to use those war reps for?
And RJ, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I just want to know, were we discussing earlier the conservation of angular momentum?
The other thing is, we're having all these extreme weather conditions. If these bastards would stop building these wind farms, then we wouldn't have as much wind blowing around.
That's
we
true.
wouldn't have this problem.
Exactly.
Well, how else are they going to cool off the crops?
These guys really be stealing all our wind and using it to fund big government.
Plus, wind turbines create cancer. I know because Twitter told me so.
If it's on Twitter, it must be correct.
We went for generations being completely happy with just cutting the wind. Now we have to, increase it and all this stuff. It's just.
If you want to get away from that instead, follow me on the Twitter.
I think the phrase you're looking for is breaking wind.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah.
Oh, I love that show.
All right. Well, here we go. We shall continue on.
Let's look at this here. So I'm at the exact same time as my map. You've got night time coming at Punta Arenas. You go right up to the top to Stockholm. You've got the edge of the light. You go right down to Brisbane, Australia, and again you're on the edge of the daylight. And the bottom of New Zealand, Invercargill, you've got sunrise. Alright, so that's correct, isn't it? According to light,
No.
this map that I am showing you right now is correct. Let's have a look at a couple more things just to prove my point. Let's go to the States. So, but we'll start again to our original starting point, Punta Arenas, Chile, at sunrise. Now we're going to look at Portland, Oregon. It's the west coast of the United States. If you go back 39 minutes, you've got sunrise in Portland, Oregon. You go back from Porter Arenas, you go back 3 hours and 17 minutes, you got sunrise in Washington DC. This map is correct in proportion to the daylight, what we experience
He's
day to day.
stupid.
This is true, this is real. Now,
Oh,
we'll do one
he's
more
not gonna
to
go
Cape Town,
through
South
the-
Africa. Start again at Punta Arenas, Chile. Now if we move 2 hours and 45 minutes, the sun,
The sun's moving the wrong way.
we've got sunset in Cape Town, South Africa.
Why is he
Here we go.
obsessed with Punta Arenas?
Hey,
So is he not
let's
going
not
to go
stop there.
through the
Because-
of the fall
Let's look at
solstice?
Japan.
Because if he says it right, it sounds like Uranus.
Got him. Yeah, it's like Sean here is like, is he not going to go to compare it to sun or to time and date at least? He's like, it is here now at this time. It is a sunrise, and at this other time, it is a sunrise or sunset in a different place, and this is correct.
Yeah, he's not all that bright.
So, also, is he not going to
Ooh,
compare?
a
the
light
sun, like,
pee.
is he not going to compare the elevation and azimuths of? Because I'm sure time and date says that, but it's going to be all wrong for this type of map he's using.
Well, and if he's obviously avoiding the whole fall solstice, then yeah, he's probably going to avoid that too.
Yeah.
Is he not? I like that solstice.
See, you young people, you have this problem that everything needs to have evidence.
Yeah, I don't know what this
It's-
evidence needs are for.
Yeah, Sam was a
You,
big
you
fan
really
of
got
internal
to
consistency.
get over
Yeah.
that.
I'd say we take the evidence and shove it under the bed. There you go. That
I could
proves
tell.
flat Earth.
I could tell him to where else to shove his evidence, but you know.
Hey.
All
Zinger.
right. Well, shall we see what else he has to say in this lovely video of his?
Sunrise at Punta Arenas. We go back 3 hours.
Sunrise, sunset.
We've got sunset in Tokyo.
Sunset.
If we go back
I don't remember
3
the rest of that
hours
song,
and
sorry.
36 from Punta Arenas, which is another 36 minutes from Tokyo.
Wow.
We've got Broome, Australia. And then if you add another 5 minutes further back, you've got Perth, Australia.
What?
This
You going
works.
backwards in time here? or
100%
what? Because
correct.
that sun's going in the wrong
This is what we
direction.
Yeah,
experience.
he's going backwards.
Now let's look at some arguments that you're going to come back to me. You're going to say,
Ooh.
oh, well, what about north to south travel, as opposed to west to east travel on this map? It would take way too long to travel west to east on this map, as opposed to north and south. Now that is a real valid argument. So I've looked into this. This is one problem that I had as to why I chose not to believe on a flat Earth. But I will prove to you in another video that the wind currents are enough to...
Drink! No, they're not.
No, no, no. What the fuck?
Oh, okay. Let's start with tornado.
Okay, flight times and distances. If the winds were enough to keep a plane, like an airplane, moving at a fast enough speed to reach every area on the flat Earth in similar time as it would here in reality, well, then you're just gonna have critical components like wings and tailplanes being ripped off of the aircraft. And you know what happens when you rip the control surfaces of an aircraft off?
It's no
You get a
longer
big
an
bill from the
aircraft.
repair company.
It's
Becomes
it's
uncontrollable.
it's a sea vessel at that point.
Yeah, basically, you get a hefty bill from the repairman, you become an unguided missile, and, well, every single passenger on board your plane just goes, eh.
So this is what the government is doing with all that air.
Yeah.
So, on a flat Earth, planes would have to be built out of super durable material that doesn't exist. Or, there'd have to be other issues, like further airports, but then the flight times just wouldn't match up, so it
Yeah.
can't work on a flat Earth.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's
just
full of
can't.
shit.
Did you know, Tornado, that if a jetliner comes apart way up at around 30,000 feet or so, and all the passengers spill out and they fall to Earth, that by the time they get to the ground, every piece of clothing they're wearing has been ripped off?
Air resistance, right?
I don't know.
So they just get horny on the way down.
I don't know.
We also had RJ with the hand up.
Yeah, he's kind of assuming that the only way that you can travel is by airplane, but you could actually just like get in a little boat and go putt, 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 putt around the water and find out that the distances on the supposed ice wall zone aren't nearly as big as what the map complains. Oh, and by the way, Jenny, that was an excerpt, I think, from the musical Fiddler on the Goof.
If I had a brain cell, yada 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 yada. yada.
Just no.
Chat, he was referring to the sunrise sunset little passage that Chris and I did there. Never mind.
One of the
really
most beautiful
unimportant.
songs out from that musical, which I think all the music on that is wonderful. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there.
And Hillel.
Well, if partially just to kind of support what Archie was saying, like apparently this guy thinks the only reason the only way you can travel is by plane, and apparently according to this map only in one direction. Like if you're going to the United States, apparently the only way you can do it is from west to east, because then if you go the other way, America would seem too big. But
Except he's talking about the wind being responsible for speeding up and slowing down the sun.
Oh, I think he's talking about like for like passenger crafts. Like apparently, like again for Australia, like it's not that the country is too big. It's that apparently for driving in one direction, a hurricane fucking picks you up and flings you across the country, like you were a kangaroo on Mount Ararat. Where was I going with this?
Good question.
Don't. This is pretty. It's pretty stupid.
Welcome to movie night.
It's pretty stupid. My job here is
So
done. You're
stupid it
welcome. No need
makes
to
you
thank
lose
you,
your
folks.
place.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm accepting the argument that it's the winds that speed up and slow down the sun. It's perfectly obvious to me.
Yeah, of course. And Tornado and Hillel, you both still had your hands up. Anything else you wanted to add?
I totally meant to do that.
Okay. Obviously. All right, well then we shall continue on.
I control these hands. They do not control me.
Distort the travel times, east to west, west to east, north to south, to get us around this map and the amount of time that we need it to happen. I'm going to prove to you with travel times in another video that we are living on a flat surface. It makes more sense. Flight on this map makes more sense than it does on the globe. So stay tuned, listen out for my next video,
Drink!
and
Yeah, that's the end of his lovely video anyway, so
Yeah, the flat Earth somehow makes more sense than the globe.
obviously.
No, it doesn't. Allow me to define why. On a flat Earth, again, flight times and distances just don't match. Also, the sun and the moon would be in the sky 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They would both seem to change in angular size, and the faces of these objects, we'd be able to basically see the entire object from the ground, depending on where an observer is standing at a certain time. Never mind the fact that all objects would have to be in multiple places at once. It's impossible. Every single phenomenon that you explain away on a flat Earth breaks all of the others.
Yeah. He's quite an idiot.
And besides, it's called sunrise and sunset, not sun shrink and sun grow.
And TD Lane, you had your hand up?
Didn't punch it hard enough.
Yes, I would like to make a note that what makes sense to individuals is not comparable to what contorts reality. The flat Earth is not plausible, even. It is not realistic. It doesn't fit the evidence. So, what makes sense, if it does to some, doesn't mean it's real.
Yeah, pretty much. And Tornado, you still
What?
had your hand up?
Sorry.
That's okay. Alright, so we have finished with that video. It was actually a pretty quick one for our standards. So it's up to everybody on the panel or in the chat if we should do another video or wrap it up.
I'm up for another one, but I bow to the panel.
We could always do a manual selection of one of the shirts, so we're not supposed to.
Hey, is Manuel around?
Who's Manuel?
I don't know that we have any of
Lin-Manuel
the.
Miranda?
I don't know that we have any short ones.
Let's do the Hamilton rap.
Trees.
The trees one is actually kind of long. It's like 15 minutes, but I think that's actually our
Yeah,
shortest.
we'll want to
How
find
about-
out about the happy and the sad trees later.
I'm
Trees that,
dying
like,
to find
turn
out about
speakers.
the shadow and the sun. You know,
The
it's-
shadow on the sun.
Yeah, we could do the shadow of the sun.
How long is the shadow on the sun?
7 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Acceptable.
Yeah.
We should
Acceptable.
be done by 6 o'clock then.
What does the chat think? Should we
Oh,
do
Tim,
shadow of the sun?
fuck.
Tell us, chat. Is that a shadow of the sun or what?
Shadow on the Sun is Thrive and Survive.
Yeah, it's this
Yeah.
lovely
Yeah.
fella.
Oh, is it really? Oh boy.
is.
You're forgetting the
Oh, it's
important
gonna be.
part.
Oh, okay. I should have known because like he's.
And
That's a really big size pot of stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He,
well-
he doesn't like shadows for some reason. This man, I don't understand.
Mr. Thug would survive, and I'm completely fucking stupid.
I think
Yeah.
he's just scared at the dark.
And all I have to say is I'm sorry because I'm the one who put this one in the suggested videos.
You
when,
did it.
Your fault.
When Jess was asking for videos for
Yep.
movie nights.
Okay.
It's all Chris's fault.
Yep.
Okay, well,
Cajun Crustacean wants to know, is the tree video made by the Lorax? no, but they do speak for the trees, so might as well be.
And they're tropical
I-
trees.
Talk to
I-
the trees,
Trees, yeah.
but they
Now from
don't
Paint Your
listen
Wagon.
to me.
I just keep thinking of Rush's trees. Whenever we say that, you know, it's
Mhm.
like
Lorax, I
there's unrest
speak
in the
for trees.
forest. There's
Rush Limbaugh?
troubles with the trees. No,
the trees
Rush,
say "fuck
the-
you."
the awesome progressive rock group from Canada. 3 guys making a wonderful cacophony of melody.
Never heard of them.
They got a lot of stuff out there. You can go and listen to it if you want. But
All right. Well, shall we see what Mr. Thrive and Survive has to say?
I'm genuinely wondering, like, what could this possibly be about? Like, there's no shadow on. Like, the sun doesn't cast a shadow. I'm so curious as to what that could
What
be.
his
Like,
point
it has to
actually
be something
is.
About, it has to be something about eclipses, but there's no eclipse where the sun is casting its shadow on something, whatever that would mean.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm
Thrive
befuddled.
and Survive is an idiot.
You had
No, he's
had
a
my curiosity,
meteorologist.
but now you have my attention.
He was a weatherman. He knows all this stuff.
no,
Ooh.
Thrive and Survive is not a show. A
He
con
went-
man. Yeah, that's
He went
what
to
I'm
the
trying to think
JM school of weathermanning.
of. No, he actually knows the truth. He's just fronting because this will get him views. He thinks.
Is that a
What,
tree
with a
on his logo,
pathetic little slug?
or a uterus, a really fucked up uterus?
Why would you even give me that thought?
I was thinking the same thing.
Right?
You are impure. You are,
If that's a uterus, it's from aliens.
Yeah.
There's only
How many
way too
fallopian
many
tubes do you
fallopian
need?
okay. Anyway, if your uterus looks like that, you need to see several doctors.
One for each tube. Oh dear. All right. Well, shall we get started and see what he has to say?
Yeah, if you got one of those in you, it's crawling around.
Yeah, if they start
Yeah,
moving,
Culver
you got a
Run.
problem. All right, here we go, guys.
Oh boy.
Oh God, what?
Hi, Christy Santiago.
His shilling.
Everybody, risk Mr. Thrive and Survive. I get this one comment so much, and I'm going to show you this comment in a minute, that I've got to make a video about it. I cannot still, after 5 years, believe the depths of lack of thinking that people will apply to daily lives to remain in a belief system that makes no sense or absolutely displays no evidence whatsoever to support. So they won't even question it, even with no evidence. Let's get to the basics. This is a nice sunny day. It's either
We're all
early in the
thinking the
morning
same
or
thing.
late in the
Keep going.
evening because we have long shadows. You see the X here? That X right here,
Yeah.
that is in what? That is in
Yeah,
a
and
the
shadow.
Dora the
It is in
Explorer's
the
looking
shade,
great.
in the shadow.
Great.
The circle
Yes, Chris.
He's not trying to describe something. He's just starting a game of tic-tac-toe. I mean,
He'll lose.
Look, don't
either that or a football play.
Hammerer becomes Tic Tac Ow.
We
Middle
did
piece is the strongest position.
have a super chat from the Lone Wanderer for $10 who says, "Can we take a moment to drink in memory of the channel's creator?" Well, yes, it's a good time for that as well, since we call drink anyway. So yes, everybody can have a drink in memory of Sai.
Yo,
Man.
Sai.
Yo. There. We'll put the pug and the sigh emoji in there. There we go. All right. And yeah, that's he's already an idiot and we haven't even gotten that far in the video. So
I can't wait to see what point he thinks he's trying to make.
I'm a little concerned.
Like I said, so far, all I see is a kind of point and click adventure.
Yeah.
The secret
Alright.
of Flirt's Island.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Let's continue on.
Okay.
On the other hand, is what? It's in the sunlight. There is no shadow. You would never say you're in the shadow. Make sense? All right, now let's take
Okay.
this concept a little bit further. Stage 2. Now we have the exact same thing at night. We have an X, which is inside what? A shadow. And we have the O inside, representing where the light is. Now, if it's produced by a full moon, let's just say this is what we get. But what if it was produced by this half moon? Well, it would be the exact same thing, except for it wouldn't be quite as much brightness or darkness. You would still have a shadow. If the moon was in the exact same position, you would have the exact same shadow here with the X in the shadow and the O outside the shadow. Now, if you're standing where the O is, you would never say you're standing in a shadow. I don't care if it's a full moon or a half moon. You would say, I'm standing in the moonlight. That's what you would say. If you were standing where the tree
CGI,
shadow is, you would
CGI,
say,
the
I'm in the
moon is
shadow.
CGI.
That's where I'm standing. I know this is crazy, simple, basic stuff, right? But let's
Yeah,
take a
your
look at the
symbols are
comment. Now, to hold on to the moronic, and that's what I replied to this guy, this is moronic. The moronic idea that there is an umbra penumbra, which you cannot go out with the sun and demonstrate with any object, ever.
Drink!
Yes, tornado.
Oh, you can't.
I think you
there's-
just woke up
you
Mom, Nato.
demonstrate. You cannot demonstrate the umbra penumbra with any object except you, and a soda can, and a baseball, and a basketball, and oh, gee, a wrecking ball, and the fucking moon.
It should be mentioned that in some later video exchanges with, I forget who from the debunker community, he did acknowledge that you can demonstrate a penumbra.
Yay!
So this is kind of a moot point.
Progress.
It is.
Flat Earthers have discovered that shadows exist. They are surely, at this rate, they can discover anything.
And
Learn the media.
And my
one.
shadow walking
Yeah.
down the
the
avenue.
And of course, when you're standing in the light, you can't say you're standing in the shadow.
All right.
Only the shadow knows.
She's not here tonight.
No, we do not have Shadow with us tonight. It's very sad.
She's going getting smart light.
I know.
Yeah,
she's doing that
finishing paper
edumacation
so she
thing.
can be a teacher,
Nerd.
Damn
which means
edumacation.
she'll have to resign from here. You know.
Yeah.
As opposed
Too
to this
smart for this.
educated weatherman.
Oh,
Hillel.
she said she might be in the chat.
She was in the live chat. I did say hi to her earlier. Hillel, you had your
Hi,
hand up?
Shadow. Hi, Sparrow. Shut up, Al.
You know,
I
I feel offended whenever he says whenever he claims to be a weatherman.
All right.
A
Well,
weatherman would know more about weather than this ignorant tool.
Like I said, he is a con man. He's just fronting for the flat Earth for the walls or for the views. I don't know which.
Opened.
yeah. Hillel, you had your hand up?
Yes. Thank you. For noticing that I have hands.
You do.
Okay, so thank you very much. So
Good
first
one.
of all, penumbra and umbra are not things that are exclusive to eclipses. It's just describing different parts of a shadow. I suppose if you say, he's acknowledged that shadows exist now, I suppose, progress, I guess. Like I said, just flat Earth knowledge yet again, moving at the speed of light towards the ground and their own feet. Let's see what else. Like first,
We'll
also,
give him
what
partial
the fuck
credit
did
on
the
that,
beginning part have to do with any of this? Because eclipses have nothing to do with just like being outside and saying, "I guess I am in the moonlight." There is a red circle beneath me. Like, can anyone?
I don't think he's made his point yet.
What is the circle and the X? Why tic-tac-toe? What does that have anything to do with shadows? Like what? Like the
It's
whole
either
point of
that
it
or a
is
failed
that the
football
moon's
play. I
shadow.
can't figure out which.
Okay. The X's and O's are his usage of poetic license to demonstrate and illustrate what the fuck you're trying to babble about. They're nothing in and of
I
themselves.
see. He's employing a literary metaphor in order to draw as a sort
No,
of. I give up.
I'm pretty sure you
fucking
can't
clue what
use
he's getting at.
sophisticated when you're talking about this guy.
I have no fucking. Sean, what was he doing?
Sean is not at his mic at the moment.
Fuck, Sean. You're never there when I need you.
He
Just
had
make
to.
a recording of it so you can hit it. Yeah, hit a button in OBS for it.
This is why I got the kids in the divorce.
Yeah, he had to step outside for
You're
a moment.
never there.
Bill.
I put my hand down.
All
The
right.
good thing about getting the kids in divorce is you can sell them.
Ow.
Anyway.
Well, we also
Anyway.
I don't know if this is gonna work, but let's take a look. Ah, yes. I have the Sean Hufford moist sound clip
Oh, of course.
as he comes back
Why would you
upstairs.
not have that?
And Dewey.
There's so much bass.
Yeah.
All about that bass.
Sean, are you back? Are you back yet, Sean?
Copyright strike.
Sean. He's back in his room, but I don't know that he put his headphones back on.
I would tell you to put these on, but we know better.
Sean, you are being requested by multiple people.
Why?
Cernian
Sean,
wanted
what
you to
did he-
destroy this
why- Sean,
asshole.
what did he want with the X's and the O's? Why would he do that?
Well, I missed what was going on.
Fucking hell, Sean!
Poor Bill. He's tried so hard.
I'll do it for him. He's making stuff up.
No, if you're gonna do it right, he's making stuff up.
My
Yes.
mind is at ease.
One more time for us, Sean.
Rich, you're making stuff up.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, now my ovaries look like the tree at the beginning.
Oh god. And
Wait a
TD Lane,
minute,
you had
how
your
do
hands
have
up.
Ovaries?
Don't think about it.
He had him frozen. So
No. There's legitimate medical conditions where you could have ovaries. I'm just curious.
I've been saving them for this minute.
Yeah.
This exact moment.
TD Lane, you had your hand up?
I would like to make note that science killed the Flurf star.
Yeah. This guy's just an idiot all around. Duh, idiot in the chat says Sean has the voice of thunder. It's part of what makes him Thor. I think it's also the hair. The hair makes him Thor.
I almost want to go back and see what he had about this NASA's big problem, literally.
What?
The quote that he has up on the screen there was from the video comment on NASA's big problem, literally. I almost want to go back and see what that video is about.
It's more of him not understanding what shadows are.
Yeah.
It's basically he says that the size of the eclipse shadow should be the same as the size of the moon or something like that. Like,
That's because
again,
the
just
light
doesn't know
is
how shadows work.
the light is absorbed by the backside of the object.
It's just like the sun is it's just that the sun is bigger than the moon is all.
There's really no dark side of the moon. Matter of fact, it's all dark.
Also,
That's
I
true.
don't think the video is centered properly on the screen.
Look, no, don't take that away from me. It really look. It's the perfect aesthetic for this sort of video.
There.
What, that it's off center?
I forgot to hit transition after I fixed it. Sorry.
Ah, damn it!
Transitioning is very important.
It is. It is very. That's a step you can't forget.
No.
How dare you point that out?
All right. Well, shall we
That's the only
continue?
thing that made the video enjoyable to me.
All right. Here we go, guys.
It cannot be demonstrated. But to hold on to it, I've been in a partial eclipse. There is a shadow, you Nimrod. And it's always a personal attack. Because they have nothing else. There is no evidence. This is no evidence.
Yes, tornado.
What?
I don't like it because it disagrees with me.
Oh, my ears.
Yeah, tone down the shout mode there. Tornado.
I gotta go back and get a beer. I'll be
I'm
right back.
sorry. It's just when I hear stupid from.
You went to a pitch only dogs could hear.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Let's move on.
Wait, is that a? What is that in the background of someone?
Oh, that's my game.
Ah, gotcha.
All right. Well, here we go then.
If the sun is partially eclipsed, just like this, you might be in diminished light. The shadow might not be quite as defined from the non-shadow area, but if you have the same tree as we had before, it'll produce the same shadow, and you can be standing in the shadow if you're behind the tree. This right here,
No.
Yes, Jen.
Actually, it does not produce the same shadow. If you've ever been in an eclipse,
I
and
have.
if you take a look at the shadowing from, say, a tree with leaves overhead, and it's projecting onto the ground, you'll notice that you can actually see the shape of the eclipse going on as the structure of the light and shadow from your tree.
So
Yes, I've been in a
It-
solar eclipse.
It's almost as if the object that the sun is shining through becomes a lens that focuses what it sees on its bright side to its dark side. It's really quite fascinating.
I love that during this part where he's talking about how the penumbra doesn't exist, he describes you may be in a part of the shadow where it kind of gets a bit fuzzy. He's literally just describing what the penumbra is.
Yeah. Tornado, you had your hand up?
Yeah, it's just whenever he claims that the penumbra does and the umbra don't exist, he's just fucking lying. He knows he's lying.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be interesting if you could do the double slit experiment during an eclipse, to see if the eclipse light changes the pattern of a double slit or anything like that? Wouldn't that be fascinating? Come on, you astronomy types, you know this stuff.
I was able to see the changing shape of a sun through what could best be described as a spoon.
No, she's talking about the destructive waveform. So
Mhm.
that's actually an idea for the 2024 eclipse, which I'm still planning on going to. So yeah, that's actually something I'll think about doing, just for you, Jen.
Okay.
And RJ, you had your hand up?
Yeah, that phenomenon that Jen was describing, I saw that during the total eclipse, and I wasn't even in totality. Spokane was way north of that, but you could see those little teeny sliverlets of the
Mm-hmm.
solar eclipse shapes in the trees. I went over and pointed that out to the neighbor across the street and that. So apparently normal optics can account for that, and our nincompoop here can't.
Not Nincompoop, Nimrod.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I was using an incorrect nomenclature there. That's Mr. Nimrod.
Don't
Yeah,
put down the
exactly.
Nimrods. They're really good liners.
Yeah,
I'm just quoting the person that he was taking.
that's true. That's true.
Yes.
He's sufficiently a Nimrod.
That's a good
Yeah,
citation.
Nimrods that the British used, the biplanes, they did good at
Malta.
Sorry for blowing out everyone's eardrums with that.
It's all good. And we had another hand up from TD Lane.
As I was in totality in the solar eclipse arch I saw a few years back, I can actually confirm this because we saw those before and after totality. That kind of light phenomenon that Jenny was describing. And during totality, trust me, it got really freaking dark. Like, really dark.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's not only completely what he's not saying here,
Yeah.
completely contrary to what he's saying. I also challenge him to explain why solar eclipses happen on a flat Earth.
Totality is
all
360 degrees.
all the shadows disappear when you're in totality.
That's true.
And the temperature drops.
It drops like
It-
a rock.
Oh, isn't that just the most fascinating thing about the whole damn deal? I've never heard anybody suggest that happens during the eclipse. Everybody's always focused on the light, but that was the thing I noticed most is how fucking cold it got without the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets really chilly because we've had a lot of energy from the sun.
Yeah, it's almost like the sun is warmer. Something.
And yeah, and obviously the moonlight is cooling, so.
Yeah, that's why it gets so cold.
Yeah.
because the moon is fully blocking out all the sun's warmness with his own cooling light.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the answer.
Exactly. And we had a $5 super chat from our very own Chris Kelling, so thank you for that, Chris Kelling. He says, Umbra and Penumbra lives matter. Yeah.
They do.
Umbras and Penumbras apparently don't exist, according to Mr. Thrive and Survive.
He's wrong. They matter.
Tornado and RJ, you both still had your hands up. Anything?
Sorry, I'm busy lighting.
Alright. Sorry, I missed that. My voice meter stopped working for a moment.
Yeah, I was busy fighting.
Tornado, did you have anything else to add? Your hand was still up?
Yeah, I'm gonna lower my hand.
Okay. Good idea. Alright, here we go.
Is not producing a shadow. Just like a partial moon does not produce a shadow. You would never say you're standing in the shadow when you're in moonlight if it's a half moon.
I'm being followed.
So why would all of a sudden during an
Moon shadow,
eclipse, when part of the sun is
moon
obscured,
shadow.
are you calling it a shadow? Well, here's why you're
I'm
calling
sorry,
it a
can
shadow.
you give me a
Right
minute,
here.
please?
What?
That's because there's nothing from the moon. There's nothing. The light's being blocked by from the moon. There's nothing being shadowed. It's just that we're only seeing part of the light.
Wait, yeah. I mean, it's sure a partial eclipse and a crescent moon. They look similar, but one of them is actually a shadow, which is why you would say, "Oh, I'm in a shadow." Like, his entire argument is just these two, like a crescent moon and a partial eclipse, look similar. Therefore, they're both not shadows.
Yes.
Well, one appears the way it does because it's angle of observation. The other one appears the way it does because it's
Yeah.
actually being blocked.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
Stop being dumb, Rich.
It's
Come
an
on.
argument from ignorance.
It's an
Yeah.
argument from dumb. He's being dumb.
Because he's so ignorant, he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Why are there moon phases on flat Earth? We can go on.
No, just don't think about
This
it.
is guy's clearly a weatherman with a giant low pressure system in his noggin. Or an occluded front.
I
One
don't
of the
know.
two. I'm
I
not
think
sure.
his gray matter has been continuously leaking out of his ears over the years.
Alright, we're back.
Fropa for the masses.
Well, considering what the symbol for an occluded front is, I kind of like that one.
Occluded front, more like a cold front, am I right? Hey, weather jokes.
Oh, man. Alright, well, here, let's continue on, shall we?
Because some of the biggest liars of all time have come up with this ridiculous, crazy thing called an umbra penumbra that the sun produces that you cannot demonstrate with any object.
Drink.
Why did
we covered
they
that.
hold on to this?
We did that already.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. but they're saying because this person up here on the Earth is experiencing a partial eclipse, they're in a shadow. Absolutely ridiculous. Can you apply logic to logic? Or do you have to just come up with this imaginary BS like you just got it from Disneyland?
Pause. That's not really a drink call. It's just, did he say, when do you apply logic to logic?
No, that's got to be a drink call. The count is really small. Could you recall that?
Okay, we'll call it as a drink then.
Chris.
Oh, all right.
Chris.
Goody. Oh, I'm thirsty.
Chris, just don't think about it. But I suppose something else to just temporarily mention is just, you know, this thing. You're saying that because you're in a shadow, but absurd.
Isn't that called the identity property of a logical?
No,
argument?
you're putting logic on the logic, okay?
How dare you?
Well, that's double logic.
Don't think about it.
All right. We'll move on.
And to believe in your theories. This is why right here, because otherwise they can't explain without an umbra penumbra why the moon stays in a shadow, even in totality, for over an hour. But much.
Yes, Tornado?
It's quite simple, you see. When a solid object that does not emit light, but reflects light, gets in front of an object that emits light, the end result is a shadow. Or when an object that reflects light is getting in the pathway of that reflected light, then it produces a shadow. Just you standing outside demonstrates an umbra and a penumbra, because the tallest part of you, the tallest part of your shadow, or the tallest part of you that's furthest away from the ground, produces a fuzzy shadow. The parts closer to you produce a less fuzzy shadow, and the parts near the ground, or touching the ground, produce almost no fuzzy part of the shadow.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he?
But yeah, it's like when two solid objects love each other very much.
He's got to have the birds and the bees
one of the
talk.
Create the baby shadow.
One of the problems I think that the flat earthers, this is going to be actually sincere, have with understanding all this is their lack of using illustrations that are to scale, or to be able to perceive an illustration is not in scale and how it affects the truth of the discussion. The distance between the sun and the moon is so great that the shadow can actually pass by as the Earth is moving around the sun, and or I should say, the moon is moving around the Earth and stuff, and they just don't understand because they use this illustration here, for example, that has this gigantic shadow relative to the moon. It just, of course, it doesn't make sense.
I think the greater problem is that flat earthers generally have very poor three-dimensional visualization.
Oh, absolutely.
Or they know they're full of shit and they just want to keep up their money. In other words, con men.
Yeah.
When a light-emitting object
and Chris Kelling, you had your hand up?
Just a question for RJ or Tornado. You may know this too. How many days did it take for us to get to the moon at how fast? 25?
It's about a week to the moon.
Okay.
No, about 4 days.
80 days, I think.
But that
was that for around the world?
How fast at 25?
Well, the escape velocity is like 18,000 miles an hour, and they weren't going ridiculously faster than that. Otherwise, they would escape like the solar system. So I think it was a little bit above that.
Okay. So. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how far off on the scale we are.
Oh, really, really, really far off. Like he would need to have, if he was going to get that image on there to scale, the sun, of course, would be very far away. Well, just to put it into perspective, I know that if you have a solar system where the sun is a marble, about a half inch across, Mars is about 3 feet away, so it's a couple feet away, and the Earth would be a tiny little dot. Everything on the scale, no, it's completely unrealistic.
So how is he supposed to demonstrate the shadow?
Oh, because he's a dolt and an idiot. He's not trying to
Okay.
demonstrate anything. He's trying to confuse people.
Don't think about it. Right. Okay. That's right. I keep forgetting that logic doesn't exist in this world.
Yeah, you gotta be using that double logic.
You're attributing decent motives to this person.
The other thing on his little drawing here is that the moon is what 1/4 or 1/3 the size of the Earth, approximately in that area, and you can see by this drawing here that he's got it about 1/10 or less the size of the Earth.
Yeah, and of course the sun is also not to scale.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
the thing is that diagrams like this one here. I mean, this is a time and date one. I recognize it. Like these things are not meant to be the scale. It's just meant like here's how Umbra and Penumbra work. Basically, it's not trying to say how it would exactly work out for our particular system of the Earth, Sun, and Moon. It's just to be like, hey, here's how shadows work, which is his main contention is he doesn't know how shadows work.
Now, I just remembered something. Douglas Adams did a wonderful thing in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, improving the scale of the universe using a piece of fairy cake. And people would go into the machine and have their minds blown because they realized how insignificantly small they were compared to the universe because of that one piece of fairy cake.
I love the illustration that's out there of the comparative size of the sun to Arcturus. That alone makes you realize how absolutely fucking meaningless you are as part of the universe. It's just holy shit.
And remember, if our solar system were the size of a football stadium with the little half-inch marble sun in the middle of it, Pluto would be roughly out at the goalposts at the far edge, and the nearest solar system would be a 3 marble system, Centauri, about 280 miles away. That's the nearest star to the Earth.
Did you guys know that Jupiter is almost 2 whole football fields across?
Well, shall we continue on?
I think so, yeah. Although if you put Saturn into like a really big swimming pool, that it would like float.
All right.
See, now I was arguing with somebody the other night that we really have no idea if Jupiter and Saturn are even planets, because we call them gas giants. We don't know what's in the middle of them. Are they gas all the way to their very center, or is there a solid portion at some point? And if there is a solid portion, how big is it? We don't count.
Yeah, I think the current models are that they have a like metallic hydrogen or something like that, but it's very, very small. I think probably smaller than the Earth.
All I know is that it's turtles all the way down.
Space turtles.
All right. Well, shall we continue on?
RJ,
delaying didn't stop that show completely?
It did not, unfortunately.
I'll raise my hand for this. Actually, interestingly enough, on solar system scale, I believe it was Mark Rober did a video on that. That demonstrates how big our solar system is excellently.
We like one.
In a way, every flirt hopefully can understand.
Most of the solar system is empty space, just like this guy's head.
Yeah.
Hey, RJ,
Okay, where you get the room reference in there?
RJ, when in Paralogs do we meet the space turtles?
Oh, I'm afraid there are no space turtles anywhere in
I
the
want a refund
Paralog
immediately.
series. Yeah.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
All right. Well, we're going to continue on.
But you get to find out a little bit more about Passepartout's comb next chapter.
Passepartout?
All right. We're moving on.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the gold bordello.
Much longer than hours at a time. What they're calling the shadow of the Earth from a penumbra, which does not exist. I've done videos on this before.
We got it.
Yes, Tornado.
just because you say it doesn't exist doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah.
Ad nauseum.
We got it. yeah.
Indeed. All right.
Find when the sun is low in the sky and go out and follow these trees all the way out. And you tell me if you get an
Trees
umbra
don't
penumbra. You will not. You will not get an
Looks like we
umbra
did end up
penumbra.
watching the tree video after all.
What you will get is you will start to get the
Yes, tornado.
Yeah, you see that little fuzzy area around the tree, or around the shadow of the tree? You see, that's where the tree isn't fully blocking the sun's light. Isn't that referred to as a penumbra? But then that means you would be wrong. Oh,
Just-
right.
Just don't think about it.
Yeah.
When I used to downhill ski, we always had this expression, and that was no matter how hard, how loud you yell, the trees will not move.
That's true.
It's important to remember.
Absolutely true.
Well,
Ah.
technically, if you see,
And no
Looks like
matter
we've
how
got
many
enough people.
trees, how many non-disclosure agreements the trees signed, it still won't move when you slam it.
well, I mean, technically speaking, like you could, I suppose if you got everyone in the world to scream at like one tree, you could probably get it to move a little bit from all the sound waves you're making.
Probably not significantly.
I think that's purely conjecture. You can't,
That
you can't
that
prove
could be a new television show given the present state of things. In about 2 weeks.
You're
Honestly,
pretty good.
I'd watch the hell out of that. Are you kidding? A bunch of people screaming at a
Scream
tree.
at a tree!
I'd watch
You're-
the shit out of that show.
You're pretty good at mathematics. Why don't you see how many people it would take to scream down a tree?
I'm stiff
Let's-
as
let's-
wood,
let's-
and I'm not
now,
gonna
hey,
take it
let's-
anymore.
Let's pick a
Okay,
tree.
not like that, Chris.
Let's say a maple tree that has a 12-inch diameter trunk.
Girthy.
Okay.
Well, you really only need one thing to blow the tree down.
And how many yelling woodchucks would it take to down a sequoia?
How many woodchucks would a woodchuck chuck if a redwood?
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck
I was gonna
could
say.
chuck wood?
I was gonna say. I don't think that was quite how that goes.
I'm hunting strained analogies.
But no, I'm pretty sure it goes like, how much wood would woodchuck have if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Something like
Have.
that. I don't know where have came from, but.
Where'd you get have?
But they still wouldn't have a penumbra.
Tell me, good sir, how many chucks of wood could a woodchuck acquire if a woodchuck had a monopoly business that acquired chucks of wood?
An
Are
African
they properly
European
insured woodchucks?
My goodness.
And would they license distribution?
Yeah.
All right, that's it. We're moving on.
Lots of life insurance could a woodchuck chuck.
Here we
Did
go.
you see that?
Bad chuck.
Madness, madness.
Did
I
you
thought-
see what we just passed? It's
What?
the rail we just deed from.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Sean.
Oh, and if you notice those fuzzy areas around the tree, that would be referred to as a...
We got it, tornado. We got it.
He's the only one that doesn't. All right. Here we go.
segregation on the outside as light that scatters from the earth
Yay for
creeps in once it
degradation.
gets past 1 diameter distance.
Wait, it
And go
scatters
ahead
from
and
the
measure
earth?
Eh,
the
drink.
diameter of the blocking
I mean,
object.
we got it. I feel.
Yeah. I think that's an asked and answered.
I mean, I suppose that the very smallest point we could say is like, you can still see that effect even if you're not, the shadow's not yet hitting the earth. Like you can see it, but like, that's small pickings.
No relation to Slim Pickens.
Yeah.
It is the sliverest of pickings.
Here we go.
Object. A tree pole, tree pole or a
Tree
a
pole?
light pole or a light post that has
Tearing me
symmetrical
apart, Flurper.
shape all the
I
way
know
up.
that
That's
was
the best
tree
we can do.
comma
You
pole.
go out
but-
as far as you can when the sun is very low, and you show me an umbra penumbra in a picture. You won't be able to do it. And guess what else? The
Jeez, you got it
shadow,
right there.
although longer because it's at an angle, and of course at a solar eclipse, we get a solar eclipse when it's total at high noon, or when the sun is highest in the sky.
Drink.
So
What? No. That's,
Yes, tornado.
No. Just no.
Oh, come on! You gotta give it. You stopped us for that.
Well, first of all, the only way you can see a solar eclipse is if A, you're in the path of totality, B, as the moon is going, or as the shadow of the moon is going over that particular location. If you're too late, you won't see totality. If you're too early, well, you're gonna have to wait for totality. But totality can occur anywhere along that path, including at sunrise, which is a very uncanny sight.
I'd like to point out to Mr. Rich here. Yeah, down in Tennessee when we all went to see it, it started at 1:32. Just saying.
Yeah.
Details.
And
But the details matter.
RJ, you had your hand up?
Matter. We
Yeah,
know
yeah.
this.
If a flat earther's brain implodes in the forest and nobody's there to see it, would it look any different than what we've just seen?
Free poll.
No, it would still be just a big ugly mess on the ground.
Tree poles. That's what I'm gonna call them from now on.
but there would be no brain tissue involved.
Oh, wait, hold
Yes.
on. Does
See, when-
that
when they
mean that someone who's enjoying some private time would actually be whacking the tree?
Why?
It's not
That's
like
a
punching the
Watch out for
cobra.
splinters.
I guess they have wood.
All I can think
yes,
is that, you know,
yes.
do you guys
And-
remember for a moment there was that thing about there's no trees on flat Earth? That's what they mean. There's only tree poles on flat Earth.
Hey, but you know what lives in tree poles? Bird leaves.
Yes, bird leaves.
Moving on.
Yeah. I think that was Ryder, wasn't it? That posted that the other day on Twitter.
I think so. Bird leaves. Oh my god. that's funny.
Bird leaves,
Now,
aka
I just
feathers.
I got one question. Was Paul McCartney being disgusting with Norwegian wood? Or was that John Lennon that wrote that song? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Okay.
Wow. Don't everyone answer at once.
TD Lane, you had your hand up?
Yeah, it's not really high noon when the totality hit, like in the 2017 eclipse. For the first location that could see the eclipse, when it first started with totality, 9:48 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time.
Oh, and I remember when it ended in you could just barely see it in the UK. It happened at sundown, right, Riley?
Well, he doesn't acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Just don't think about it.
I was in and around Carbondale, Illinois, and we picked that because it was the center of the path, the point of longest totality for the entire eclipse. And I goddamn, I forget what time of day it fired. I could look at it up on the exit data on my photographs.
It's got to be around. I think it was probably somewhere near at the same time where Sean saw it, so it's gonna be somewhere around 1 o'clock ish.
Yeah, probably. I just don't remember.
I think for the next one that's happening and that's crossing the similar area, I think it's probably also around a similar time, if I remember correctly, or it's
Sean-
close to 3 o'clock, I think.
Sean, were you in Eastern time or Central?
Well, that depends on what your cell phone read at the time. We were like right between two cell towers, right at the
Okay,
dividing
yeah.
line.
Yeah, they will fuck with you that way, won't they?
Oh yeah.
We were in a
whatever
time-space
mood your phone was
anomaly.
in.
By the way, the first time I had a cell phone and went through time zones, I just thought that was the neatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, what
Which, by
time
the
zone you're
way,
in there
is-
depends on what side of the house you're on.
Which, by the way, is the sliced bread is being banned by the Biden administration if it gets in office.
Oh, thank God.
I just want you to know.
You can only eat whole loaves at once.
All right.
Hey,
Well,
a super chat.
yes,
Only
we
unsophisticated people eat sliced bread.
we have a $17 dick super chat from, or as we learned earlier on the iNetwork, they can also be called the Donkey Kong dollars. From Morton Nielsen, who says #tree pole. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a new one. I'm definitely gonna use that and see if anybody can figure out what the hell I mean.
Rights. Civil rights for people. Come on.
Yeah.
Walk up go to the insurance company. Officer, please, I didn't hit a tree. It was, in my defense, a tree pole.
Yeah.
It
Oh
jumped out
dear.
at me.
Hashtag tree pole. Oh boy. All
I
right.
didn't hit the tree. The car hit the tree. I was just a passenger.
The damn tree pole hit me.
Traveling.
Yeah. While you're
But the
traveling.
tree.
Traveling.
Yeah, not driving, traveling.
Yeah.
Damn sovereign citizens.
Undergoing locomotion.
Yeah. All right. Well, shall we
Not much-
continue on?
There's not much left, is there?
There's
Are
no.
we
I
gonna
mean,
get some science?
a minute. So, you know, he could have a whole minute of science.
Yeah.
That's
Quit smoking
true.
crack.
Science or silence?
Yeah. There'll be a whole minute of it.
I've started going delusional,
could
Sean.
win Miss Universe. Yeah.
Hey, you never know, Chris.
I'd like world peace and puppies.
Ooh, puppies. I want the puppies. I've given up on world peace at this point, but all right, here we go.
Well, if you take your peas and you put them in a blender, you get world peas.
Oh, jeez. Anyway,
We don't have this effect. The shadow is never then larger than the blocking object. So
Right.
since the moon,
No.
we made it 7 seconds. Yeah, yes, tornado.
Rich, you liar. The blocking object's shadow is always larger than the blocking object itself. Mind you, the total cross-sectional area of the shadow is always larger than the blocking object itself. For the very nature of light, because light tends to diffuse from a light-emitting object. Well, unless it's a laser, and even then you'll still get light spill. And there's two scenarios. The first one, which is what we normally see, is that the light-emitting object is larger than the shadow casting object, and therefore the umbra itself, the umbra, will always be smaller than the blocking object, but the total cross-sectional area of the shadow will still be larger. That's
Hi.
why it takes so long for a solar eclipse to go from partial to total, and then it stays total for a little bit, and then it goes back to partial, and then it stays partial for like an hour and a half.
Tornado. I once spilled a bunch of light inside my camera, and I stained my film.
The other scenario, which is
Film is that piece of plastic that has silver nitrate on it that is light sensitive.
I
Of
know.
course,
People
the other-
nowadays don't know what film
I
is.
tried to
so.
scrape all that shit off, and
hold on. The other scenario is in the case of where the shadow casting object, like my Mountain Dew bottle, is bigger than the light casting object, in which case both umbra and penumbra will be bigger than the shadow casting object.
ooh, bigger is good.
So, Rich, you're lying.
Now, is it lying? Isn't lying an intentional act? Isn't it more just
Yes,
you're
but-
broadcasting stupidity? You know, he's not really a liar. He's just really dumb.
No, Rich is absolutely a liar. He has been demonstrated so many times about how shadows work, and he just outright acts like they don't exist.
Right.
He is lying.
Okay,
about it?
I'm just trying to be nice.
Bad dog.
We need the Carol Kane clip from Princess Bride. Liar, liar.
Look, Pertukians don't think too hard about what they're saying. They just say it and they don't care if it's lies. You can't have things going against their worldview.
Yeah.
Oh yes, if it disagrees with them, it must be fake.
Okay, where's the science?
I don't.
You
I
know,
don't think we're...
hemorrhoids
I
are
think-
very disagreeable, and they're pretty damn real.
Yeah.
I think your expectations are too high, RJ.
Moving on.
That has been a case, but hope springs eternal that there will be some actual science from one of
Yeah.
these efforts.
Yeah. I'm still
Sometimes
holding my
you
breath.
just have to bow to the absurd.
Oh.
All right, let me get over back to that window. I'm
Mouse
doing some
foreshadowing,
high
by the
IQ
way.
research, by the way. I've got
You have
multi-tabs
to make
open.
that picture make a nice little calendar image.
All right, here we go.
Causes a 72 mile wide at the most shadow on the Earth during a total eclipse, then the moon can't be
Drink.
more than 72 miles if that is the block.
Oh, please.
We haven't even gotten that far.
Please, Tornado.
Just
Let's
let
just
me
get
die.
a little bit further.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that he's wrong because he probably is going by his track record. But
Please, just
seriously,
just let me die in peace.
we just want to go to bed.
I wonder if you could explain why some tracks of eclipses go, from west to east, and others go from south to north. I wonder if you could explain that. I bet you couldn't.
He
I'd like to see him
attempts that
explain
several times, but he
eclipses
tries
at
to-
all.
He
Yeah.
actually attempts that several times in one of his other videos, but he tries to say that proves that NASA's lying.
Okay, I was just checking. They do lie, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
Does anybody know how much money this idiot makes off of his videos?
Too much.
Much.
Yeah.
Look it up on Social Blade.
That's true. If you were like $5, it would be too much.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can finish this out.
-5 would be too much.
An object.
Waiting for that
And there
sign.
is no umbra penumbra that we can demonstrate with the sun. Even with atmosphere scattering, which would produce this degradation effect, which we won't get in the void of space. So again, going back to the very basics in the very beginning, when you have a half moon producing this, you're not in the shade because it's not as bright as a full moon.
Drink.
Please stop being
Please.
moronic in your thought pattern.
Hold
Start
on.
thinking outside the box. Start
Drink.
applying critical
Hold
thinking so
on.
that you can understand the
Tornado,
truth of the
please.
world around you, and more importantly, you can understand how much you've been lied to. Take care.
Literally see the fuzziness in this picture.
All right, we were
Yeah,
at the end of the video. I just wanted to get through the end.
Yes.
I call drink on all of that spiel.
Yes. Just thank you.
I just
First of
wanted to
all-
get through it.
First of all, Rich, when you're in the shadow of an object, it doesn't matter if it's daylight or moonlight. It doesn't matter if it's sunlight or moonlight that's being blocked. The end result is still the same. A shadow. So you're wrong there. And secondly, you need to just apply critical thinking and you will realize how much you've been lied to. Yeah, we
Mhm.
will. Lied to by
That's how we know you lied to us.
Yeah.
Please,
much.
Please, he's already dead.
No,
Uh.
I intend to bury him.
All right.
Well, be
Well,
sure to let me know where you do that so I can go piss on his grave.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, shall we talk to RJ first? He has his hand up.
Did I just miss it, or does he fail to make an argument that it matters? Like the arguments he's making against penumbras, and wouldn't that apply just as much to any model that any flat earther or geocentrist would try to come up with? They're facing exactly the same optical problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you pretty much failed to make any point whatsoever.
Yeah.
No,
You kill a
RJ,
little pug.
allow me to elaborate. His entire argument is... His entire argument is, nuh-uh, you've been lied to. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You can't demonstrate it. Nuh-uh, ad infinitum.
Rather tedious of you.
Well, actually, that's somewhat to the point, because flat earthers are very just generally anti-knowledge.
Stuff.
It's not like they want to figure out how stuff works. They just mostly just want to say, this is how things don't work, even though
Right.
they do.
And it's actually pronounced ad infinitum because there is not an I, it's an A.
Hmm.
Americans tend to throw an A in there because of how we spell infinite,
Look,
but
we're
in Latin it's
Americans, and we're right.
infinitum.
Look,
Interesting.
we just had the 4th of July, damn it. We're
Sorry,
Americans. So we
I-
do
I-
this is an American channel, damn it.
Okay, I was taught Latin for 4 years by an American.
Yeah.
Okay, even though she was a little nuts, she's still an American.
All right. Well, let's go around the room, do our final thoughts and our wrap ups. We can start with Chris since he has his hand up.
Okay. I was just looking out on Social Blade on Thrive and Survive's channel, and he's making $6,987 a year.
You completely broke up. Say it
Yeah,
again.
you're roboting.
I was looking up Thrive and Survive's channel on Social Blade, and he's making, it's saying between $62 and $987 a year on
Yeah.
his videos.
That's still
Once
too
again,
much.
Chris, you broke up, and the more you talk, the more it breaks up. So just say the numbers.
NASA's hacking the feed.
62. Okay, I closed out Chrome, so it should help. $62 to $987 a year
Wow.
is what his income for his
We can
channel.
buy some
Complete-
ice cream with that.
So,
For complete idiocy, he gets
Yeah.
$1,000 a year. Fuck.
yeah, he has a C plus on Social Blade, so yeah, which is better than my D minus was. But that's all right. That's only because I don't post very often.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for that, Chris. And
Oh, I
yes.
do have one plug.
yes.
I don't know if our wonderful, gracious, and beautiful host is going to be around tomorrow night for Game of Fools, but if we are, we'll be doing it at 10:45 over on Shadow's YouTube channel, and it depends if she's going to have her papers done or not, I guess. But anyhow.
Indeed, yes. Check out Shadow's channel, Game of Fools, where they're going to play some games and have some fun and have some laughs while they're at it.
If it's Game of Fools, does that mean she brings on flat earthers to play games?
No,
We do
no.
have flat Earth cards in the
Yes.
Cards Against Humanity that we've custom made. So
Oh.
And
Some of
Tornado.
my writings have been absolutely hilarious, and others have fallen completely on their face.
You had your hand up, Tornado?
Anyway, basically what we can sum up from Rich's video is, nuh-uh, it's fake, do your research, I don't want to do your homework. Rich is a con man, and I feel sorry for anyone who he's suckered in to giving him money, because
Yeah.
he's stealing it.
Indeed. And hello? Did we lose you, hello?
Hmm.
I'll say, wait, you almost made it through the entire movie night.
I'm still conscious. I wish I wasn't. I have a Twitter. I don't know what else I can say.
Is that I has Twitter? Like,
Do you have a
what?
penumbra?
I has a tweeter. I does the tweets.
You do's the tweets.
It's like 60. It's basically 60% cats. So, you know.
That's presidential these days.
Oh well. That's. Is it? I don't know what else to say.
Well,
Well, I suppose something else, like the channel Flat Earth Math. Charles, he's back at least for a little while, so that's nice. Subscribe to him, I suppose. Ooh.
well, thank you for those words of wisdom.
Oh, words.
Yeah.
There are more airplanes in the ocean than submarines in the sky.
That's true. But do any of them have penumbras,
Yeah.
huh?
Sean, I was wondering if you were gonna catch that.
That's true.
RJ, anything you'd like to
Oh.
say?
Oh, just the same old thing, that the fact that anybody could profess anything related to flat Earth in the 21st century is just pathetic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right. And what are you working on recently?
Oh, well, still assembling material for the second Rocks book, Rocks Were There, Volume 2, with Jackson and sundry other matters. And Hint, hint, guy reading the Paralogs of Fog. I'm nearing completion on the second Paralogs of Fog novel, where even more stuff happens than what happened in book 1.
Is there stuff and things though?
Oh, absolutely. There
Oh,
are
okay.
things and stuff. And as I
Shut up and
warned
take
him
my money.
that in the very next chapters, he's going to find out more about what Passepartout does with that comb.
But are there stuff, things, and thingamabogs?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What the
Ah.
hell?
All right. Well, thank you for that, RJ. TD Lane.
Not much. I'm debating whether or not I want to do a video on a geologic formation because young creationists like it, even though they really shouldn't.
Ooh, do
Which
something on the
geologic
Canadian
formation is it?
do some on the Canadian Shield.
Maybe.
Rocks are sexy.
Or
Ah.
sex or Roxy, either way.
Is it in the shape of a maple leaf?
All right.
Well,
Well,
the sleeping giant shows up in the second Paralogs novel. That's up in Canada.
how about Jenny Morgan?
Well, I have some good news. At the to finish out their current term, the Supreme Court decided that I could have my Pornhub site back. So get on out there and look me up. It's Slide Rule Slut, shaming for fun and dollars, and I do all kinds of fun things for you, depending on how much you're willing to pay. On camera, live,
Yeah. Round
Check it
slide
out.
rule or linear?
linear.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's.
Well, come on, think about it.
Well, thank you for that, Jenny. I just, yep.
Our next show will be at 11.
Anyway. Oh, dear.
We're here all week, Phil.
I believe all we have left is Sean.
Well, I've got stuff planned and things. I've
Ooh,
got
stuff and things.
testing to do and videos to make and debunkery to go about. And other than that, yeah. That's it. I want to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm about ready for bed myself.
Hey, Sean,
Joke's on you, I'm already in
still
bed.
doing stuff about flat earthers?
Oh, well, from time to time. They're boring.
Yeah.
Still from time to time.
That's true.
All right. Well,
Is
I,
it possible to really be a not boring flat earther? I don't know.
yeah, I'm not sure. Oh my god, this cat is being a pain in my ass.
Make sure you
Wording.
stay sitting down.
I would like to get myself and RJ, for example, and Sean, for example, and maybe a couple other smarties that we have around here. And I would like us to go into flat Earth and finally, wrestle out these problems that they're having with their model and settle it once and for all that the Earth is indeed flat and this is how it works.
Well, see,
Wouldn't
I
that be
actually
fun?
tried
AB
to do that.
Science did that already, and he was lambasted by was it Oakley or I can't.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter
Okay.
what evidence you present or how beautifully you visualize it or present it. They'll find some ways of pooping around it.
But see,
No,
I actually tried to do
I'm
that
saying
for I
I'm
actually
saying
tried to do that.
proving their theories, not ours.
I
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that
remember trying
AB
out
Is
that.
this
Science
anything like
did that.
proving that black is white and therefore getting killed at the next zebra crossing?
Well, depending on the Riley formula and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember doing. Actually, I remember trying something like that. It's maybe got like 2 years ago now. So if you want help with that, I'm not one of the smart people you mentioned, unfortunately, because I am a big dumb with small noodle brain. But if you want help, I'm always here.
I do
Yeah,
all
I
of
tried
the
to do
big
that.
dumb.
I tried to do that like 3 or 4 years
You're in
ago.
good company.
May I continue now?
No.
I'm sorry, me talking interrupted you. But I tried to do something like that for an April Fool's joke like 3 or 4 years ago, to where I was going to sit there and sit down and try to make a cogent argument for flat Earth, and I just couldn't do it because once you make up some ad hoc excuse for one thing, you literally break everything else in a possible model.
Right.
And by the way, I recognize that every one of you guys here on the panel got at least 20, 30 IQ points on me. But hey, at least I'm up into the 70s now.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up since we're going off them rails.
Yes, tornado.
There is an idea for a cogent argument for flat Earth. It's all a dream.
I gotta say, I'm impressed. We got done before 2 o'clock, and we had a double feature tonight.
Yeah.
You know
We
what that
did.
means?
I think
Time
we
to go
did
to bed.
pretty good.
All
You
right.
have to
Well,
admit they were compressed stupid.
yes. Ow, the
2
damn
o'clock
cat.
Eastern time.
Yes.
And
Alrighty.
the time doesn't matter. It's time to go
I
to bed.
I don't want to be a time zonist, but
Oh, I totally am. It's time to go to bed.
All right. Well, let's say goodnight, panel.
Good night,
Good night,
panel.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.